Lately, I have been hearing strange noises coming from up my attic. Don't think I have immediately jumped to conclusions. I am writing this in my journal, hoping it is found if I don't make it out of here alive, after weeks of assuming that it is just simply raccoons or bats flying amok my dirty, cobweb-ridden attic. Hell, I haven't been up there in years, and I have been too scared of whatever the hell is up there to check. It started with just little patters. The noises it would make would line up with small animal running about. Honestly, the first time I heard it, I didn't think much of it. I live in a pretty old house, and if you have ever lived in one, you know about the creaks and whatnot that ancient homes can produce. It really wasn't all that shocking to me. I have lived alone since my husband peacefully passed away in his sleep 5 years ago. And as I have gotten older, I have to admit, I've let both myself and the house grow. With my husband's passing, my daughter, who has never been quite all there, worsened even herself, and I haven't heard from her in years. His passing took a huge toll on the family. He was the true thick glue to hold everyone together, whether it be from planning Thanksgiving, reunions, or just a simple stop by a family member's house. I cannot say by having been concerned it's my husband's ghost returning to try to give me a wake-up call. He always was the big cleaner, lecturing me every now and then to help him tidy up. I have never been messy, but don't get me wrong, he just had a strong touch of OCD, specifically about cleaning. If he were to spot a single dirt speck on the kitchen table, he could only pray to God he would still eat that day. Sadly, I feel now it's something more malicious than just my husband's ghost telling me to get off my ass and clean. Over the span of the last few weeks, the patters turned into thumbs, which turned into bangs, and eventually I called the police. I just wanted to check, I have heard the horror stories of homeless people living in the homes amongst the unknowing owners. Me being an old woman, I figured I'm one of the top targets to these crimes. Honestly, I am unsure if I could even walk up the stairs to my attic without breaking a hip these days. But, to my dismay, when the police officers arrived, they didn't seem to really take me seriously. They made me feel as if I was just an old bat starting to hear things, and I believed them. They checked my attic, came down and shrugged. Nothing up there. No trace of animals, nor scary homeless people waiting to drink your blood. The officers laughed with each other, teasing the old lady who's gone a little cuckoo. That was 3 days ago. I have tried my best to ignore any noises since then. I have even figured myself I'm just getting too old to be living alone. No one visits me anymore, especially after Harold, my husband's passing. But now as I write this with my shaky hands, I'm here to tell you I am going to my attic. I need to prove to myself that it isn't real, that all of this is in my head. The noises are simply too much to bear anymore without proof there's nothing up there. And a few minutes ago, I swore I heard the sounds of a woman whimpering with the most melancholic noises I have ever heard in my 74 years of living. It was her. God, how could the police have missed her? My daughter, the one I had raised my entire life. Harold raised his entire life. I found in a metal stand-up cabinet sitting, smushed into the sides of the interior. I screamed when I first saw her, horrified at what I had found, what I had saw. Seeing my daughter gnawing on Harold's bones, her teeth surrounding her, and she continued to chew with a full bloody mouth, blood dripping out as she tried to eat bones like a rabid animal. There were dead squirrels, raccoons, hell, even a bat I found half eaten, sitting in her lap. Dark blood splattered all over the inside of the cabinet, even on the ceiling of it. She looked at me and said, "I'm sorry, Mom." She kept mumbling over and over and over again, as I had just kept screaming in true horror. I passed out eventually. She looked at me in my eyes after saying she was sorry over and over again for what she seemed like hours. I have never been more terrified than when I looked into her eyes. They were empty, cold even. It was similar to the look of a rabid animal or just a hungry gorilla. Have you ever seen such a look of such just pure hunger? But not in the, oh, I could go for a burger way, but bloodthirsty. I was preparing myself to be attacked, to use any of my energy to fight her back. But the last thing I remember is feeling something similar to possibly a hard rock hitting my head. I now know it was none other than my beloved Harold's bone. My guess being his femur. When I woke up, I was greeted by laying in my own pool of blood, touching my head to feel a large open wound. Truthfully, the reason I'm writing this is because I don't want to seek medical attention. I think I will be lucky to die. I feel as if my daughter gave me a warning message, looking into my eyes with such negative emotions, a negative soul. So, I am warning you now. If you hear those noises in your attic, leave and go far, far the hell away. Don't worry about your bags. It is better to lose everything than to have this outcome. Because when I woke up and finally was able to see and recognize my surroundings, the words, "I'm going to get you," and "It is all your fault," were written all across my attic with a mixture of likely animal shit, animal blood, and maybe even some of my own. The worst part? I can hear loud thumping and movement coming from below me, and all I can do is pray for you to find this and for me to die quickly before she comes back for me.